All right, we back in the house with the brothers, man. I got Adigun Forest. I got Oracle Verses, Brother Eliyahu, and myself, Jediah. What we going to talk about, y'all?
Fake conscious sisters.
Somebody just came in, too.
Who's that?
It's Ram.
Ram.
Hey, what's up, Shalom, brother?
Shalom.
We just started, brother. We on live. We just started that. We just started that recording. So the topic today we're going to be talking about is these fake ass conscious sisters.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Real quick, who all on the line?
Eliyahu.
We got Brother Eliyahu, Adigun Forest, Jediah Malek, Oracle Verses, and you, the Ram.
Yeah.
Man.
What's up?
All stuff, please.
We're talking about fake conscious or fake pro-black women.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if we could get right into it, Adigun uploaded a video the other day. I've been kind of behind. I ain't been on YouTube that much these days, but I did get a chance to check it out. And the comments were interesting, to say the least. But I'll get to that in a second. What struck me immediately, of course, was the chick she was talking a mile a minute. She was talking a lot of shit. I didn't have a problem with what she was saying, of course, but her spirit, her attitude was very, very ugly. And what I see that turns my stomach a lot these days is not just these reprobate, disgusting women, but the simps who are actually attracted to these kinds of women. It's one thing to appreciate what she's saying as true and valid. It's another thing to be attracted to her as a female, as a woman. And because of our lack of standards as black men, we don't see her as absolutely repulsive as we should. Because a woman like that, and I'm hoping you guys did see Adigun's video, right?
Yeah.
This was a loud, aggressive black woman, which, I mean, that ain't saying much because that's synonymous with black woman. Like, you don't have to say loud, aggressive black woman. You just say black woman. You already know the rest. But she's going on and she's talking how they do, and you say, okay, wow, what she's saying is true about the white establishment and whatnot, but then you have to ask yourself, would you want her in your house as your mate? Because that same defiance that she's displaying, that combative posture, is the same one she's going to give to the black man. So, but y'all can go ahead from there. I'll chime back.
Well, I'll say this. Hollywood has defined black women. Of course, there are two types. They say the sapphire. Now, the sapphire is the one that's sassy, loudmouth, talking back, out of control, and then the Jezebel, the oversexed, nasty black bitch. So you have two definitions of a black woman that was designed or defined by Esau, the white man, because his media, or his evil media, what is it called, media, maniac, European devils in action, that's what it's called. His media basically is defining how our women are to be. You either the sapphire, the loudmouth, ignorant bitch that can't shut up, that's always talking back, the sassy one, or you have the Jezebel, the oversexed, nasty bitch who will do anything for anybody, anytime. So sisters are picking these. Please go ahead.
Don't forget the sapphire Jezebel. There's the sapphire Jezebel and the sapphire Jezebel.
Right.
But go ahead.
So, right, because we have these sisters who are weak-minded idiots who basically want to fit in with white America, the bed wenches, will accept these monikers as badges of honor. So we have to understand these women are the ones who are basically our enemies. You have the sapphire, the Jezebel, and the Jezebel sapphire. So you have to understand they're allowing the media, as opposed to the men they should respect, to define their womanhood. So they love the white man more than they love the right man.
You're right.
The media has the
supreme. That I want to mention really quick. The other type is the nanny. So
yeah.
So there's three major
stereotypes
that they have created for black females, which they have taken on that banner proudly. And just one more point is that you were talking about the media. I think the word media comes from the word Medes, which were basically magicians. So
yeah, right, magic.
Magic.
Great point.
On spellbinding, mind control over the people to hypnotize them and program these three stereotypical black roles over our women.
Right. Wait, let me make sure I understand you correctly. So, in terms of the Bible, the Medes were actually known to be these psychologically manipulative types.
That's right.
And working magic. They were known as the magic workers.
The Magi came from Media.
The Magi.
And
remember the movie 300?
Like sorcerer.
I never watched
the movie 300. Well, in the 300, it was a certain group that Xerxes had, and these were the Medes, and they came with these potions and these magics, and they worked that into their warfare, just like Esau.
Okay.
And the war, as we know, the warfare is the stage takes place in the mind first. So if you take the mind of a people, then you got the people. So I think it would be safe to say that the media has a supreme influence over black women.
Of course, because remember, Eve was the first one to bring sin into the world, and Eve was a sister. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was because of her that sin is in this world. So,
wait,
sisters, I'm sorry, please go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. No, finish your thought.
No, go ahead, brother.
No, I just want to say, when we talk about Eve, let us not forget, Eve did what she did, but as I said before, Adam was simping and now we limping.
That's correct.
Adam was simping too. Okay, because Eve wouldn't have done that right if his pimp hand was strong. So we got to keep that in mind. It's the same problem we got today, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Like Goldie the Max said, he should have put a foot in her ass, basically.
Who got it? Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
No, girl in the comment section of Adigun's video, Carla Dean or something like that. Carla,
I was just about to say something about her.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you the floor. I just want to mention one thing that's so important. I believe that sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. And she was saying something. She was exposing female nature, and she was exposing simps. She kept on the essence of what she was saying in the several comments that she made was that, and that simp Nubian Times has mentioned this several times. You talk about when you say, the women are just looking for security. So they tell the black men like us who would check these women, hey, relax. The black woman, she's just looking for security. So that's what this is about. Black men, get your shit together, and then you can get the black woman or whatever. And so the Carla chick, essentially over and over again, was trying to bang that message home. That black man, because T40 actually, I wish he could have been on the phone because he was talking to her, and she was basically telling him that the benefits are greater from the black woman's perspective under white supremacy. And the person, Laboratory Mouse, who I don't know if it's a white male, female, or whatever, I don't think it's a black guy. But Laboratory Mouse made a good point in that comment thread where she said, do you really think women give a shit about this racialist stuff and all of that stuff? Now, I know we've all talked about this at various times in various places where we know women are not principled shit about race solidarity or any of that. But here's the thing. If we understand that women are simply looking for security and essentially they only give a damn about themselves, how can you take that same being and say that that's your fucking equal? How can you take a selfish, narcissistic, amoral creature, anti-intellectual creature who will tell you herself, I just want security, and say this is my motherfucking equal? How? That's the part that kills me, is that these simps will read this and not see it standing right in the fucking face. Your bitch ass is putting this inferior creature on a pedestal who has no inclination toward the cultivation of her intellect, her spirit. She couldn't give a fuck about you, the kids, and therefore the community, but you want to elevate her to maybe not even your equal, but to God status, because we know these bitch-ass simps say the black woman is God. But anyway, you can go ahead, Adigun.
I'm glad you said that. Carla Dean also said a couple of things in the comment section that bothered me, and that kind of exposed what she was trying to do. She was trying to get us to start kissing her butt so that we can get her support. Now, I don't know what kind of support she can possibly offer us, but I was of the understanding that we really don't need the black woman support in this country. I think she's the source of most of our issues. I think we need to actually get on one accord and move as one as black men. Black women are going to jump on board by default. When they see black men doing something, they're going to jump on board. But we actually have to not really need them for them to do that.
Right.
Excellent point.
Right.
Man,
and we got to keep in mind. I mean, that's just like if we all four of us are getting ready to take on to begin a venture, and I flat out tell y'all, look, Eliyahu, Jediah, Adigun, look, I'm just along for the ride, man. I just want to get my shit. So if y'all shit start to fail, I'm about this motherfucker, man. You know that's all. You come on, man. You ain't gonna take me seriously no more. You ain't gonna care about anything that I have to say. If you can't kill me or kick me to the curb, at the very least, you gonna press the mute button on this motherfucker over here. So this is all the more reason that when as we go through this process of growth in a positive direction, we shouldn't give a single fuck what black women say. Shut the fuck up. Look pretty, be obedient, have my babies, and shut the fuck up. Because you've already told me you only give a fuck about security. Fine, that's your nature. Shut your motherfucking mouth. That's why we shouldn't be talking to these stupid-ass black women, because they will throw it in your fucking face. You ain't got nothing, nigga. You can't offer me nothing, nigga. You can't do this. She don't give a shit about nothing else. That's all the more reason. Shut the fuck up. That's why you in silence and submission. Don't fucking talk. That shit is insulting, man. It's fucking insulting.
You are absolutely right, brother. Let's just get one scripture to go with what you just said. Just to prove that.
I'm sorry, I got emotional, man.
No, that's fine, man.
Hey, I feel you 100%, brother.
I just want to point out that what you're saying is a spiritual principle. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 25 and 26. Somebody want to get that, or should I just go ahead and get it?
Go ahead and rock. My Bible is not open.
Okay. Proverbs 6 and 25 and 26. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. Adulteress for the precious life. The adulteress hunt for the precious life. All these whores care about is what they can get out of a dude. They have no concept of black unity, black love, nationalities, salvation, freedom, getting out of this condition. As long as they can get a few trinkets out of it, they'll have us here another 400 years.
Well, even too, you're right, Jediah, because even when you look at, what was it, Proverbs 6, you said? Look at verse 12 and 15. It's like a scoundrel, a mischievous man is he who prowls about with crooked talk, a wink of the eye, a touch of the foot, a sign with the finger. You see, subversion is the evil that he is plotting. He stirs up quarrels at all times. You see what I mean? So, brothers, we need to get rid of brothers like that. Those are the ones who are feeding these bitches. These scoundrel, mischievous men. These women feed off of that because, again, we go back to the principle of Eve. Women are attracted to the bad boy until he kills them or she has to go to jail for him. Women like danger. They like to stick their finger in the light socket. They're basically wicked things.
Hey, I got an example close to home. I hate to say this shit, man, but I had my girl over here just yesterday. And we watching John Wick. I don't know if you ever seen that movie with Keanu Reeves, which was pretty violent, ultra violent. And you should have seen how thrilled she was seeing him fuck people up on the screen. And it reminded me of the videos I've seen where they talk about chicks liking serial killers and violent men. And I'm looking at it out the corner of my eye like, God damn, bitch, you like that shit, huh? You know, shit tripped me out.
Because women are basically, again, because women are basically evil. We have to go back to Eve, the first woman who sinned. Women don't care about anything but themselves. They're very narcissistic, very self-centered, and very wicked. Now, if they weren't exposed to white America, who feeds that junkie with her heroin she needs, we wouldn't be talking about this. But since we were cursed to live in this evil country with evil, wicked Edomites, who are the border of wickedness according to the scriptures, we wouldn't have this problem. But these women are attracted. The white man knows how to manipulate a sister. He's attracted to her. His bitch runs over him. His bitch will run over him. Yeah. But he'll come to our women because our women are looking for attention. And see, if we're simping for her, but the white man will be pimping for her. And she's out there looking for that because they like danger. They'll run over a simp. But they love that white man because he has the money, he has the power, he has these resources that this nasty bitch wants. Yeah. So she'll bed wench for him, but she'll spit in your face.
That's right.
So again, our sisters are wicked. We have to face it. They're evil. We have to face it. And very few sisters will want to follow the Most High because he has rules and regulations for salvation. They don't want it later. They want it now. They want it by now.
That's been my calling card since I got on YouTube.
You notice how women only follow the Most High when it's convenient for them. Anytime it's inconvenient, then they are more than willing to deny the scriptures and what the Most High said. And what I've been doing as a practice in my daily life, I've been trying my best not to look at black women, to not even acknowledge them unless they acknowledge me first. When I see them, it's not that I have like a fear of them, but I try to turn my head and look the other way. I want to get to the point where black women don't exist in my mind because they're so in left field. And when I realize that this world is run by, America anyway, run by white people first, and the black woman second. She's above us in every level. Yes. And for me, it's come to a disgust. So I don't even want to acknowledge black women. I look at all of them as an enemy and counterproductive. I'm starting to look at her just like I look at the white man, and almost no different.
Well, she's the new white man. Somebody, I don't know who first said that, but she is the new white man.
She is. And again, it's because of this black conscious movement and these sisters joining with white women in this feminist crap that started in the 60s. I was a child. I used to see these white women coming in our neighborhood. They would come in droves, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white women, hippies with them floppy hats on, telling black women, knocking on doors, passing out flyers, you don't need this man. But they would be in the alley having oral sex with these brothers. I've seen it with my own eyes. You say the black man ain't about nothing, but you're sucking him off in the alley and when you come back in the neighborhood. And a lot of sisters would run them off the porch, tell them to get the hell out of here. We don't want to hear all that. We don't have no problem with the man. It's your business. But it took root because so many sisters wanted to be involved in it because you saw an out that you could have life be with the white man.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Black women would never give up on their hope and dreams for white supremacy. She lives like a king, not a queen. She lives like a king in this nation. Think about it. She can get the job she wants. She can have sex with as many men as she wants. She can have as many children by many men as she wants. And guess what? At the end of the day, after all her whoredom, she can always get a man, a black man particularly, that's going to simp for her and provide for her no matter how many men she slept with, no matter how many children she has by different men, no matter what things she do in life. America will always excuse her sins and look past it. In fact, if you think about all the people on earth, nobody lives as lavishly as the black woman. She can say what she wants, do what she wants, and nobody is there to correct her, ridicule her, or even say she's wrong. No way. In my opinion, next to a white man, she's the most powerful force on the planet, next to the goddamn white man.
Because Eve was Satan. Even Satan. We go back to the root of the problem again. That's the systemic issue. The disease, she's Eve. She has cancer. and that cancer has to be cut out. And it gets cut out by the Most High, and it's turning away from the black conscious movement, these stupid, ignorant, evil females, and become the men we're supposed to be. I don't need to lay up with a hoe. I don't need you. You got so many, what is it said, you carry the spirits of other men in your vagina. Every time a man ejaculates in you, you're carrying that man's spirit around in you. So you're bringing evil into my world. And I don't do it. What is it? Michael Camerism, Jediah? That's what it is.
Michael Camerism.
Right. So you're carrying other men's spirits with you. So you're crazy as hell because you got Joe, John, Djibouti, all these other niggas and white men come in you, and it's in there for the rest of your life. So you're crazy as hell. So why would I want to stick my rod in a rat hole?
You're right. Black women don't use condoms. Every woman I had sex with, if I didn't put the condom on, it wouldn't have to be put on. Period.
Well, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to go in her vagina, gentlemen. She swallows things too, you know, and that's kind of nasty. So you are sucking another man's penis by proxy when you kiss that bitch.
Right.
Sure. And leave these holes alone.
And if you really think about it, dealing with black women, period, is cuckolding because she has so many men in her life and has had so many in her life. You can't find a black woman. I say 99.8% of them all deal with multiple men in some way, form, or fashion. You can't find a black woman that's loyal to one man. In fact, I had a girl that I deal with from time to time. She told me it was hard for her to be faithful. Hard for her.
Straight up. But before you explain that, could you break down what cuckolding is and where it comes from? And then go ahead and say what you were saying?
Yeah, well, cuckolding is comes from the idea of the cuckoo bird, the idea that this bird would lay eggs and allow another bird or trick another bird into laying on those eggs to hatch those eggs and take care of those children or those birds, baby birds. So cuckolding has transformed into the human arena in two parts. Number one is the idea of a man getting off, white men getting off by allowing another man to have sex with his woman. That's number one. Number two, it can be expanded to the idea of a man taking care of another man's children. Now, I know sometimes we're in that situation, but black men do that in mass, taking care of another man's children, sponsoring another man's progeny. And since the black woman has such a high position over the black man, think about it. And we were kings, whether it was Africa, Egypt, Israel, where we were, we had children by multiple women who were our wives and concubines, right? And all our children came together. But that role has been reversed. Now the female is the king. Now she has multiple children by multiple men, and these men will take care of them. So guess what? Guess who the new bitches are? The black man is the new bitch. Okay? And the black woman is the new pimp. So we the whole, she the pimp.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
I remember the first time I started to see that these fake, how fake these so-called conscious sisters was. I was watching Adigun Forest video the other day, and brother, as part of the pictures, the screenshots that you had different pictures of artwork, right? And a lot of them was artwork that came out like in the late 90s and early 2000s, and a lot of times it was like a black woman up on a pedestal with like a black man bowing down before her, or the black man on all fours and she's sitting on his back. And either it's a picture of a black woman's foot and a black man down on his knees kissing her feet, right? You put that up on your video, right, brother?
Yep, I sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, I sure did.
It brought back to mind so much because, you know, as an artist back in those days, and like a lot of that stuff came out in like the 90s and early 2000s. And at that time, I was doing artwork, and I was, you know, trying to go all in professionally as an artist. And I would see a lot of those paintings, and at that time, I didn't know why, but it really didn't resonate with me. And those artists who created those paintings, some of them I knew, and they would sell a lot of those paintings, a lot of those pictures. They would sell them in mass in art stores with Karen and so forth. And I didn't know what it was. You know, I didn't know it was simping and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't want to do it. So I decided to do pictures of families with a patriarch in it, with father, mother, and children. Or I would do pictures of musicians or pictures of spiritual things. And, you know, my artwork was on par with a lot of those same artists whose work is all over the black community now. But a lot of these so-called conscious sisters, they wasn't trying to hear it. If I did pictures or paintings of a black woman being elevated, that's the only way that I would sell artwork. And I got tired of that. And I'm like, yo, why aren't these conscious sisters promoting black families and the artwork that's associated with it?
Jezebel.
So after that, I was like, man, these sisters are fake, man. They don't support family. They don't support black nationhood. They just support pictures that show black men groveling at their feet.
Yeah, they want worship, man. That's all.
True.
They want
and that's
worship.
the specific thing about it, too.
Go ahead, Adigun.
No, they only care about saying black men grovel at their feet. They are perfectly comfortable under this. They're perfectly comfortable under this system of white supremacy. They just want to make sure they're a step above black men. And as long as we keep black women in our hearts like they're important, I think we're going to fail every time. There has to be times when we have to get together and actually alienate the black woman from what we're trying to do.
Well,
I think the alienation has to be, it's not that there are times when. That has to be a foundational principle. That if it's anything that we should have learned, it's that, as I started out saying earlier, other than for sex and limited companionship, what black women want, what they say, things that they say they want, should be utterly ignored. And they should be encouraged. They should be, commanded to shut up. And I mean that. I mean, you can call it crass, you can call it what you want, but from my experience, women, like I say, we've already been discussing it, they are for self, and their capacity for logical, rational discussion is very, very limited. They are very undisciplined, very self-serving. We don't need them. We don't need them for strategizing. We don't need them to do nothing but have our babies and obey. That's the point we need to get to.
Let's put this in perspective. If you stick your rod in a nasty bitch, you just ruined your kids. You just ruined them. Because that nasty bitch, a child basically always listens to their mom, sort of. So if you stick your rod in a nasty bitch, you just ruined your family, because there's an old saying my father said.
I just mean ideal.
Oh, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but my father said one thing. When you corrupt a woman, you corrupt a nation. And our women are corrupt. And so I'd like to bring to mind one scripture in the scripture of the Bible, Romans chapter 1, verse 28. This is for us as men. Because they thought it not worthwhile to retain the knowledge of the truth of Jehovah. He gave them over to a depraved and sick mind, so that they may do what they ought not be done. Something you shouldn't be doing. Women are not supposed to rule over us. Since we forgot who we were, he said, well, I'm going to let the bitch run over you now. That's why our women run over these children. The children stand on the corner like wild bulls in the net. We're the Israelites. Because we thought it not wise to retain the knowledge of our Father, he turned his back on us. And now, since we are reprobate, he let a bigger reprobate rule over us. That's the
Let me get another scripture for you to back what you're saying, Eliyahu, on that. Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And I have first-hand experience with that. This weekend, I picked my daughter up. My daughter's 13 years old. Her mother is a minister. Her mother's a minister at a popular church in Chicago. Okay?
Oh, brother.
My daughter had on fucking booty shorts. Now, check this out. I didn't say a motherfucking thing to my daughter about wearing some fucking Daisy Dukes booty shorts. You know why? Because what I realized is that I am not a parent. I am not a father. I'm simply a man who pays child support and sees his daughter. No matter what disagreement I have or how I want to raise my daughter, anything I have to say is 100% irrelevant. So it doesn't even make sense for you to get angry about the situation. What I've done, I've conceded. I've given up. I said, you know what? The black woman is the god of this planet with the white man, and I concede. I'm not going to fight against this anymore. I'm going to let it be until this place is destroyed, and I hope that comes soon, because why would I get myself bent out of shape over something that I can't change? I know I can't. This world belongs to black women and white men. So I just give up on it. And And I hated to see that. I hated to see my daughter, who's growing ass and titties and all this other stuff, with this shit on. But I couldn't even let it get. I just had to say, you know what? It ain't nothing to do about it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, brother. I understand. Mm-hmm. Personally, I got a daughter too, so I understand firsthand experience everything you talking about.
I got one that's a dyke.
Wow. Oh my God.
So she's a 30-year-old dyke, so she can go to hell. Goodbye. I tried my best, but she wanted to do what she wanted to do. She snuck off, went to college, and started whoring around. So goodbye.
And you know, if we were in rulership, this shit would never have happened. If we were in rulership, our daughters wouldn't even think about this shit.
Nope.
Wouldn't even think about it. If we had absolute authority, and that's the whole plan. You know, you kill the male by turning the female against him. And now we're just a nation of simps.
Let's get another scripture for that point, because it seems like we all going through that where we have one or more children who have been ruined.
Not Adigun. He's a lucky bastard, that damn
yes,
Adigun.
Sir. Hey, Adigun, I hope you stay that way, man, because I'm telling you, please, this ain't the time to be having kids, man. If you could stay that way, bro, I mean, I know you may have that urge, but, man, if you can stay that way, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I know.
Let's get something to verify what y'all saying, because I understand what y'all going through. This is Hebrews 12 and 5. See, these children, a lot of them who have been corrupted by matriarchy and feminism, they refuse the chastening or the correction of their fathers.
That's correct.
And because of that, now they're being cut off, and that's what needs to happen to that type of unrepentant daughter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hebrews 12 and 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. We should be able to speak unto our children in this way. My son, despise not thou the chastening of Jehovah, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. And Jehovah is our Father. So this is saying when a child is rebuked of their father, they shouldn't hate that. They should embrace it. For whom Jehovah loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and are not sons. So when we reject the correction of our fathers, then that makes us bastards. And see, us as brothers and men, our forefathers they hated the chastisement or the correction of the Heavenly Father. So then now we're in a nation of bastards or matriarchs. Mm-hmm. And so the only way to get out of this is to let go of those wayward children and then start to rebuild patriarchy anew. And that means avoiding unrepentant, unreformed black women. And you will know a black woman if she's reformed by her level of submission to you. And it should be total submission. And the only one, you know, these fake consciousnesses, they want to get out here and act like they're going to teach this and teach that. The only thing they should be teaching is other women and children how to submit and how to love their husband. And that's it. That's all they should. So that so-called conscious woman who was loud and obnoxious and abrasive, even though she was saying certain things that were true, it's hypocritical, because the only one she needs to be focusing on teaching is other women that they need to start helping to build up black men and supporting them by submission.
And you have a wife, Brother Jediah, who's a shining example of carrying out those responsibilities that you just laid out.
Bless her, bless her, bless her.
Yes, indeed. And I want to say, my girl now always tells me she loves me. And I always reply that love is obedience, you know, and so that you know, it's not about you telling me you love me. It's not about how well you know, how you are in bed necessarily, your skill level. It's obedience above all things. So, and that's what should be a mantra of men, you know, in dealing with women. When the woman is talking to you about her feelings for you, as a man, you can't get caught because, you know, feelings and shit are ephemeral. So that shit comes and goes. God damn it, are you doing what I tell you to do? Okay, well, that's love. That's the way it needs to be. Love is obedience. Exactly. That's the way we submission to obedience. That you know, and so same thing with the woman, man. Love is obedience. I don't want to hear none of the other shit. If you ain't doing what I say, I don't give a fuck about your so-called feelings. I know you love me by your obedience.
Absolutely. And brothers, if any of you have an obedient woman, then what you need to do is you need to encourage her to start teaching other women how to submit to black patriarchy. That's a key point. Responsibility as men. If you got you a loving and submissive woman, it's your responsibility as a black man, as a Lion of Judah, as a black man, as an Ibmor man. It's your responsibility and duty to encourage her to start instructing women in righteous submission. If you're not doing that, brother, then you're a failure.
That's true. That's true. Jediah, he laying it out right there, because that's another thing I was really impressed with when I seen him and his wife. Like, he requires that she show improve. You can't just say this to me and you know, do this here with me the same way I minister to the brothers. You got to put this out here to the women. This way I know you real. You know what I'm saying? Because and the thing about that is you can't fake that. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, if you're charged with a responsibility like that as a woman, either you're gonna do it or you're not. It's gonna expose you real quick.
Yep. And that's the only. Go ahead, Brother Adigun.
Go ahead.
No. I'm good. I'm just soaking it all in, man.
Let me ask you guys a question.
That's the only type of woman that's worth defending or putting your life on the line for, and protecting and covering. That type of woman. If she is not that type of woman, then she is not worthy of a black man's protection or provision or love.
True. Yeah. Well, again,
and I had a thought about that.
I'm sorry. What you have to understand is we're at the point now where they don't care. And Brother Jediah, bless him, bless Sister Casita, because she's a wonderful sister, and I pray for them all the time. But understand this, Sister Casitas and people like my mother, few and far between, brothers. So a lot of us are going to go without women, because a guy like me, I'm not going to put up with it. Like I told Jediah before, you're going to have to show me first that you love the Most High. That's first and foremost. I don't want to hear anything else, because love is following the commandments of the Most High. That's what true love is. And when you show me that you fear him and obey him, then we'll talk. Other than that, just because you say you love me, lady, microchimerism is on my mind all the time. If you're repentant, sister, I'm happy for you, but you're going to have to show me that you love the Most High before anything. And that's not really going to happen too much, gentlemen, so get used to it, because you're surrounded by whores. These black consciousness whores, because they work for the white man. These bed wenches, because they work for massa. These snarling bitches who get you fired because they love their massa. Understand this. We're talking about this. That's understandable. But, gentlemen, sisters ain't sisters no more. You got bitches and hoes. Like Tupac said, we went from brothers and sisters to niggas and bitches. And that's what happened now. So that's just the way it is.
Brother Larry, let me add to something you're saying real quick. You said if a woman doesn't fear the Most High, then you won't have nothing to do with it. From my experience, women are not spiritual. In fact, they're so unspiritual that as a man, you would have to teach a woman to fear the Most High. She can't get it on her own. She can't get it from the Christian church. She's not going to get it from anywhere else. She's not going to get it from her father. So when you meet a woman, if she's willing to be humble and submissive and to be broken, then you have to teach her to fear the Most High, because she's not going to come automatically with that. So I'm not saying what you should do with your life, but you might want to give a little space to see if a woman is willing to learn the fear of the Most High, because they don't have it by themselves. They can't do it. You have to lead them to it.
I'm at the point in my life, gentlemen, where I really don't care. You got to come to me first.
That's a good place to be.
I'm a good-looking guy. I'm a good-looking guy, and I can pull them. As old as I am now, I can pull them. That's easy. But why would I want to put my rod in a rat hole? Like I said, Michael Chimerism is on my mind 24/7, and I think I'm all that. So as far as I go, I don't know about the rest of you brothers. You have to get to that point. But these bitches ain't nothing. Just like Snoop said, bitches ain't S but hoes and tricks. So I'm not going to put my rod in the rat hole. I'm sorry. You're going to have to show me first. You have to show me that you got some sense. And you have to show me in some sense that you fear death and you fear burning in hell. See, if you can't show me that, then scoot. Come on. Have a nice day. I'm not going to waste my time trying to retrain a stupid-ass dog. I train dogs, as a matter of fact, gentlemen.
You think about how...
That's what Black Ram was saying that that we, if a sister is willing to listen and give you an ear, then us as men, it's our obligation and duty to start to instruct you. And
that's right,
brother. Let's break down what you was talking about, microchimerism. Microchimerism is a woman ingesting sperm in any of her cavities, be it oral, vaginal, or anal. It eventually makes its way up the cerebral spinal fluid up into their brain towards their third eye. And I want y'all brothers, whoever brothers is going to be listening to this broadcast, I want you to look up a picture of a scepter. A scepter is a rod or a staff that a king uses to rule with. And if you really look at the shape of a scepter, it usually has like a round top, and then the staff or the shaft, then the shaft underneath. And
the penis.
And even deeper than that, like a sperm cell.
Yeah.
So a sperm cell is in the shape of a scepter. And with that sperm cell, you rule over that woman's mind.
Yep.
So if you have a woman who has all these different scepters or different people ruling her brain and telling her spiritually what to do through the different semen that she's ingested, she is incapable of being taught or tamed unless she is willing to forego all that and have you as the only one ruling her mind through your semen, through your rod, through your penis. She is worthless. And so if there's a sister who's willing to listen and really willing to learn these spiritual principles of being a Hebrew and being Ibmor and black patriarchy and reestablishing righteous community, then that's a woman that's worth investing the time in. For those who are willing to do it. I know some brothers is just at the point where they're like, forget all of them. I'll just be But our sperm is actually a scepter whereby we rule, as well as our penis. It's a rod. It's a scepter. Don't take my word for it. Google scepter and look at a picture of it, and then compare it to a sperm cell and compare it to your own rod and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, please, brother, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What also bothers me, not just the microchimerism part, it goes a little bit beyond that. When you get with a female, she's been with so many men. She has so many experiences. You can't share anything new with her. By the time a woman is in her mid to late 30s, she's traveled with men. She's had whatever experience you can think of to try to have this woman to create a memory with her. You can't do it because she's done everything.
That's a
She's
very
got new
important
sexual
point.
position. She's done everything. So you can't do anything to her that would make her say, "Oh, I remember that." Oh, because she did that already.
Yeah.
Their minds and their bodies are defiled. A black woman nowadays can offer you nothing. Nothing. She's completely defiled. And then to have to deal with a woman after all of that, after all of the dicks she sucked, and all the guys she fucked, after all the experience she had, she want to come and control and rule you. I mean, what a deal. What a deal.
Black consciousness, black feminism, and whitey. That's the whole issue. Again, women are naturally sinful. They're curious. They're nasty. And they don't give a damn. All they want to do is live for today. And, brother, if you can't give that bitch what she wants, she'll find somebody else. We all know this.
Right.
Again, we have to turn our backs on these sisters and not be so horny and not be so simped out, because that's the key. We don't need these women. Really, we don't. I mean, come on. These women are nothing but whores. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it, but they're nothing but whores. And that's sickening. It's saddening to know this. It makes me very sad. I'm not lying. To know that my sister, some of them so very beautiful, and you see the wicked things that they're involved in. Disgusting. Mm-hmm. And then you want to kiss me in my mouth with that thing you've been having on somebody else's rod? I don't think so. That's an insult. That's like a damn dog. I have a dog. He better not lick me in my face. I'll slap the hell out of you. You're a dog. You've been licking your butthole. That's nasty. So these females are bringing filth into your life, and we willingly accept it because we're simps. Well, not us, but brothers are simps. We know this. I don't need it. I don't need it.
That's why we have to restore standards now to our women. We have foregone standards as black men. Our only standard was the size of her behind.
Yep.
That has been our only standard. And now us as Ibmor men, as Ibmor brothers, introspective black men of reform, we need to reform ourselves first. It starts with us as brothers to establish standards for the type of women we're going to deal with. Not allowing matriarchy says forego all standards. All women are beautiful, no matter
just by virtue of being a woman.
Just because they have a vagina, they're beautiful and they're goddesses, and whether they keep themselves frumpy or out of shape or any of these.
Well,
it's loud and obnoxious. No matter how many children they have, by how many men, a black man still needs to submit himself to her, cuckold all those children, and get nothing in return but sex every now and then.
So see, my father said something that's wrong with black. I'm sorry. My father. Please, I'm sorry.
As men, so it starts with us, and any woman who's worthwhile, us as men start to reestablish standards and hold to it. Then the women any of them who are worthwhile, they'll start to fall into place. So again, like I think Adigun has said, we need to focus on the brotherhood first and foremost, and really holding ourselves up to a specific code and standard, and strengthen each other as men and as brothers. So that, and then those of us who have daughters who are decent and sisters who are decent, we need to start to really think about grooming them for marriage to other Ibmor brothers, other men of Judah, other brothers of standards, and start setting that up now. We can't if we just allow our daughters, those of us who have good daughters and decent daughters, to just choose a man willy-nilly on their own, and we will never get out of this predicament.
Never.
Well, I'm a
go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, because my thought was incomplete. So next time, go ahead.
Let me say something.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to add to this as well. Not only is she defiled physically, but the black woman, she truly seeks to destroy you in every aspect. She's like a sucker. She is the destroyer. And let me give another example that we had to mention how black women want to destroy men. So her body is defiled, and her mind is defiled, and she seeks to control you. But she wants to spiritually destroy you. Most black women are church women. They're Christians. So she wants you to go to her church and worship her pagan deity on Sunday. So she wants to destroy you spiritually, mentally, and physically. She wants to send your soul to hell.
She wants
the black woman is the worst. Absolutely. So the black woman is right up there with Satan himself, because she wished to sift you like wheat and destroy your very soul by introducing you to her pagan god. One of the first things dealing with a black bitch, she'll say, "Do you go to church? Do you go to church?" And she'll tell you what fucked up church she go to, and she wants you to come and decide yourself in that raggedy ass temple that she's in.
Well, here's the irony. The irony of the times we're living in is that in a sane, healthy society, a woman asking you that should be like heaven to your ears. It should be the opposite of a red flag. But in this crazy upside down society, a black woman asking you that is the biggest red flag you can get.
Biggest red
when normally you want a woman who would be always in the temple, who's asking the man, are you at the temple? But nowadays, if you get that question, run your ass the other way.
Hell yeah. Black Christian women, boy, they're the worst.
You don't want her to require you to go to church. It's the opposite these days.
Right. But again, it's easier dealing with a woman who has never heard the truth than a woman who goes to church. Women who go to church, their minds are completely gone.
They're destroyed.
Lost.
They're gone. They're lost. You're right, brother. Again,
and the true church is where two or more are gathered in Yehoshua's name. So if she's willing to have you as her man teaching her about spiritual things, that is the true church, and that's where you begin.
But you know, she wants you to go to T.D. Jakes' church, though. She wants you to go and listen to Jakes and Osteen, though.
So. but again, brothers, who are you dealing with? Jezebel.
Right.
Jezebel seeks to destroy men. Black women, again, you have the Sapphire, the Jezebel, and the Mammy. Again, because we've been cursed to live in this society with white devils. So, yeah, they're going to take you to see white Jesus. Because maps are good, you see. That white Jesus is garbage. That came from slavery. That came from all kinds of mind games and destruction of our people, and we still have not learned our lesson. We're still wandering around in the desert, and some of us are going to have to die off. And a lot of us will.
Let's expound on that point you just made about those three different types. There's the Jezebel, the Sapphire, and then the Mammy. We also need to understand that there's a program set for black men, and so we need to elaborate on that because there's some brothers caught up in this same programming. What's the programming that they set up for us as black men in this wicked place?
That's the coon right there.
The coon and the pimp, the coon, the punk,
the simp,
the football player.
Oh yeah, well, we definitely for as much as we talk about I say that the biggest sin, of course, of the black woman today is her whoredom in a physical sense, as well as in a psycho-spiritual sense. And the black man's biggest sin today is by far cowardice. There is no more defining characteristic of the present-day black man than a goddamn coward.
Exactly.
He's a coward to woman. He's a coward when it comes to other men. He's just a big fucking pussy. Period.
Hey, guys, I got to get that.
I found that you – I'm sorry, Adigun, go ahead.
Hey. No, it's good. I got to go and get ready for work, man. But it's been good talking to you.
All right, brother. Still on, brother.
Still on, brother. Still on.
No doubt. I got 10 minutes myself, about 10 more minutes.
Okay. I find that black men would easily fight each other, but they won't check the bitch that lives in their house. That's what I found to be true.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing real quick. That ever since this stuff, these killings of brothers, unarmed brothers by cops and stuff, I had just this sort of revelation, if you will. It hit me just how absurd the gangster rap is, and the brothers talking about killing each other and how they talk so creatively about how they will murder each other and talk about how unafraid of one another they are, while none of these cops are getting taken out. No white males, just other black males. And I understand the programming and the socio-political conditions, socioeconomic conditions that create this behavior in black men, but it bothers me too.
I'm going to give you the floor right back. As soon as you said that, two rappers came to my mind who really influenced that. Well, I guess many of them influenced that train of thought, but Biggie and Jay-Z. They always talk about how quick they were to shoot a nigga, quote unquote, shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, do this and that. But if the feds come, then I'm out. I'm trying to think of some of the lyrics. They always talk about if the feds come, then oh man, the lyrics will come back to me. But go ahead, brother. Right.
Well, I mean, my thought was just about complete. Man, the fact that they still make this type of music when you are being directly and obviously challenged by men of another fucking community to do the shit that you say you're about. They come right into your community and shoot black men, and you don't do a fucking thing but make it. This shit that's been going on with these white cops and even white civilians has proven the profound otherworldly bitch-assness of the American black man. I mean, it is absolutely fucking disgusting, man, that they can be so vicious. I mean, just vicious to another black man and let these cops and everybody else just ride right on by. And they always talk about how they ain't scared to go to prison and they ain't going to tell. Well, goddamn it, man, if you living like that, you just on some renegade fucking rebel shit, why ain't you challenging these goddamn cops? Fuck, man, that shit is crazy, man.
Well, again, let's do this. Back to the scriptures. The Most High said that you would be afraid of a shaken leaf and you would have none assurance of your life. So, black men, you've been trained by Whitey because he has toys. He has the toys, the cell phone to impress these bitches. He has the little car you have to work for 24/7. He has the clothes you have to buy to go to the club to impress these hoes. He has these things. So basically you're murdering yourself. Let me ask you this. Let me say this, brothers. We're the only people in the world that have to go to work and not be yourself. You can't be yourself. You have to be a fake, full of crap, yes, a boss nigga. You can't express yourself. You have to speak the way they speak or what they say to do, or you don't have a job. Now, female is no threat to the white man because she has a booty and breasts that he can look at and grope over, and she likes that. But you have the staff. You are sexual competition for him. So you better come to work. You better act white. You better not be a nigga. Don't act black. So we're the only people in the world that have to be fake in order to eat.
Yeah.
Again, we've been placed in this country as a punishment to make us want to come back to who we are. White people fear us. They're afraid of you. I'm a perfect example. Wherever I go, they fear me. You damn right they do. I've lost jobs because I smacked a few people around that were Caucasian. And this black consciousness movement didn't do it. The Most High did it. Amen. Until you come back to the knowledge of who you are, you'll be wandering around, groping at noonday, looking for an answer. These women are not the answer because these bitches are the enemy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call them that. But we're the only people that have to be fake to keep a job. They don't want you to be yourself because you remind them of the evil that they've done. And our sisters say, you better be fake and go out and get that money so you can get my head did and take me to the club so I can cheat on you with a white man and another nigga. And they're not worth it. We got to be around, be fake to get a job and be fake to keep a bitch. Bye. Goodbye. I don't want it.
Let's break down this role that they have put for black men, because we have broke it down. What do we have? We have the simp, and we have the coon, and then we have the buck. The simp, the coon, and the buck. And they all three of them, the simp, the coon, and the buck, all revolve around cowardice.
Exactly.
The buck is strong physically. He has a strong physical prowess, but he's a coward mentally. He's afraid to stand up for anything that has to do with his freedom, but he's quick to assert aggression against another black male. We have the coon, who is also a coward, who is treacherous against his own and underhanded against his own. And then we have, and he'll sell out. He does it primarily for money.
Yes.
The buck does it primarily for sex or dominion, fake dominion, the power to kill and say like a thug. A lot of them fit the buck definition. And then we have the simp or the vagina beggar, whose only sole purpose is sex and upholding matriarchy, and they all revolve around cowardice.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, indeed. That's the core of it.
Yep. So we have
Go ahead, Oracle.
Go ahead, bro.
No, that's what we have. We have the coward and the whore, which is the archetype that was originally established by Adam and Eve. It's the same thing right here with us today. Like I always say, Adam was simping, and now we living.
Yep. Exactly.
Fooling the coward.
And it's not going to stop. So,
or we could
those
say
of us,
a hole in a cuckold, because Adam was a cuckold because he was allowing Satan to influence his woman.
Yeah.
There it is.
So again,
there it is. Yeah.
It goes back to biblical principles. You can do nothing. Again, since we turned our back on the knowledge of our Father, he turned his back on us. Since we thought it not appropriate for the knowledge of our fathers, he turned us over to a reprobate mind so that we may do what ought not be done. And that is, the female's running the show, and the black man is the hoe. So as soon as you come back to the knowledge of who you are, that's going to stop. It's a hard road. It's going to be every individual achievement. Because as a group, brothers, we're lost. Only 1/3 of Israel will be saved. Only 1/3. So don't waste your time looking for these hoes, trying to help these knucklehead niggas out here. He that has an ear, let him hear. We're looking for brothers and sisters who want to change their life. If you don't, my father had a saying, if a nigga don't want to learn, let him burn.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
So that that black power movement, Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, let these niggas alone, man, because they're chasing their tail. White people love to see you say you black because you have no heritage. You don't know who the hell you are. I'm black. Oh, I know that nigga stupid. Oh, he's in Farrakhan. You're not going to do nothing to him. You have to.
We're the only people on earth who describe our nationality as a color. Everybody else have a nation of origin. We're the only people on the earth that are lost. Hence the lost tribes of children of Israel. Why is it that no other people has this problem, but no other people have? But
Deuteronomy chapter 28, brother. And again, I don't call myself black. I say Hebrew. So that black thing, it don't work with me. Because when I hear that, that signals that I'm lost. So that signals that I'm part of the black power, the Farrakhan's. I'm not NAACP. The hell with all of that. All that means is that you're lost. You're lost. So call yourself a Hebrew.
Arab.
Because you're Hebrew. You're not.
Want to call yourself a damn Arab by giving us last name of Farrakhan or Muhammad or some shit like that. One slave master for another.
You're right. We are the Israelites. We're the Israelites. And I say I'm a Hebrew. I don't care who don't like it. I say I'm an Israelite. You can keep the black stuff. Because, see, they don't care about them because you're lost. They care about us because we know who we are and they don't want to hear that.
I know a few Africans, not personally, but just talking to them. You know, Africans never, ever, ever, ever describe themselves as being African. Never. Never. You will not meet somebody from the continent of Africa who will say that they're an African. You know what they're going to say?
True.
I'm Nigerian. I'm from Ghana. I'm Igbo. I'm Fulani. They don't say their tribe and their nation. They're not going to say fucking Africa because they know that's a European construct. They know that.
You know, that's a good point. I don't know that they know that it's a European construct, but I think they naturally identify with who they are, what they've grown up knowing themselves as. Our general reference to Africa, well, I am African. You're making a good point there, because then that's all we can say without identifying any particular tribe, not even a region, let alone a tribe. So
Africa is named after a white man, as you know.
We're the only ones that call Africans African. You're right. They don't call themselves African. We do.
Well, like I said,
they don't even call themselves that, And like it's been my experience too, brother. It's very true, man. They say, man, I'm Ethiopian. I'm Ugandan, I'm Nigerian, I am Ghanaian, and we're the only people who...
Do you know what they call blacks in America, so-called blacks in America?
Akate,
exactly.
Cotton picker.
Yep, they call it. They say Akata because that means wild one.
Yeah, cotton picker. Well, whatever, I don't care. Again, I do not...
Break that down, brother. Break that down. You were saying about Akata?
Yeah, I was speaking to a Nigerian guy, and he was like, they refer to black people as Akata. I said, what does Akata mean? He said it means wild person, like uncivilized, wild beast. I'm like, really?
Yeah, for those who don't know, that was referenced in the movie Sugar Hill. I don't know if that was the first time, but the movie Sugar Hill with Wesley Snipes. I remember Wesley Snipes and his brother beat up them Africans because the Africans directly called him Akata. And he said, what the fuck did you, call me, whatever, and they kicked their ass.
Well, again, we will be a byword and a proverb among all nations. Again, going back to the scriptures. Now, let me explain this to you. What the Jews call us in Israel, Kushim. You know what Kushim is? Niggas. So we're called names by every person on earth. We even call ourselves a name, black. I'm a Hebrew, gentlemen. I'm a Hebrew. I'm an Israelite. So keep all the black foolishness. That means I don't know who the hell I am. And then that means white people go, oh, that's a dumb nigga too. No, I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew. I tell people that in a minute. Goodbye. And I carry the name of the Most High.
Yeah.
So that black consciousness.
It's important for us also to understand the importance of language and name, because that's another thing that's probably the first thing that they whipped out of us was our names and our language, because language and names is what binds any culture. And that's the one thing we don't have as so-called black people here in America. They whipped out from us language and culture and the names of our God. And so every culture
with a ghetto subculture.
Every
gentlemen,
every culture that comes here, they have a community, and that community is centered around their language and even their foods and so forth. Us, we've been stripped of it, and we only speak English, which most predominantly the European and white men speak English too. But even though we both speak the same language, they even have their own language in the midst of speaking English. And a lot of that is sarcasm. Their the white man's language is sarcasm.
Damn, that's a good
point.
point.
Yes, it is.
Good point.
Break that down. One of y'all break that down, the sarcasm piece, in as a white language.
Well, I say, to me, well, I don't know about the sarcasm part, but the white American language is gibberish. It's a mixture of Portuguese, Spanish, French, German, all kinds of languages. This is garbage. It's a Babylonian language.
Yeah. The spirit of the language. When you talk about sarcasm, the bottom line is that the spirit of the language is insincerity, is a lack of genuineness. Marimba Ani talked about this from a different angle in her book, Yurugu, an African-centered critique of European cultural thought and behavior, and she talked about the so-called literate mode, and she was contrasting it with the oral mode, if you will, that is traditional to Africa and the griots and whatnot. And she talked about how the white man really sort of attached himself to and refined this literate mode of the written word because of what it enabled, what it made possible in terms of manipulation and deceit. So when you talk about language and word usage and stuff like that, that is the white man's game. And the thing about it is it's never really rooted in anything. It's a lot of games. In fact, me and my cousin, we often talk about how one classic example of the white man manipulating language to deceive people and whatnot is when you look, you talk about these documents that we sign, and there's always the fine print at the bottom. First of all, the fact that it's in fine print, tiny, that's an attempt at manipulation and deceit. But then when you actually read what's in the fine print, most times you can't even understand what the hell it is. But that's just in this society we live in. There's so much documentation and proper word usage and word order. When you look at this court system, there's so much manipulation in terms of how you word things. Man, one word could fuck up your whole case, regardless of if it changes, even if it does not change the truth of the matter.
Let me take you back on that real quick. When Satan tempted Eve, he repeated everything that the Most High said to Eve, but he changed only one word. And it said, "Has God said?" So Satan is a master manipulator of language. Satan means deceiver. So who on the planet is the deceiver?
Esau.
Who on the planet has deceived the whole world?
Esau.
Absolutely. So that's his method. And as far as the sarcasm, I've experienced that. The white man uses that because he thinks he's superior, so he uses that to condescend. So he covers his supremacy. He shrouds it in his sarcastic language.
Yeah, he's evil. Yeah. So again, like I said, we combat that with the Most High. Your name denotes who you belong to. I don't belong to no damn devil. I belong to the Most High. I am a son of the one true one, Eliyahu, Ben Israel, son of Israel. So I don't belong to no white man. I'm the son of the one true living one, and I act like it. My name gives me plenty of balls. My name makes me a badass. So I'm gonna act.
You're right. I just wanna elaborate on, tie in what you're saying with what we were just talking about, black and the sarcasm of white man's language. So black was a term that they really just gave us as a nationality. Not that we don't identify ourselves as having dark skin and try to separate that from us, or that we're ashamed of the melanin of our skin. But even black and all these terms that they give us was given in sarcasm.
Right. So time to get rid of it.
Manipulate.
Time to get rid of it. And we first do that by coming to the Most High and getting rid of their goddamn names.
Yeah, and that's how we know we're different. Because as men, we can speak in truth and honesty. The white man doesn't do that. The black woman doesn't speak in truth and in honesty.
No,
they both have the same characteristics. They hide behind who they really are.
Eve and Satan, even Satan. And again, we get rid of that by coming back to the word and getting rid of their names. Because you don't own me, Whitey. And I don't follow behind women.
When you go into the names, I just want to add, my son, and see, I'm the third, all right, as far as names go. Me, my father, my grandfather. But when my son was born, his name, first, middle, and last, is not European at all. So he's starting a whole new line.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Get rid of the Afrocentrism. Get rid of the Black Power movement. Get rid of Farrakhan. All of this is a construct of white America. Everything, listen, like I said before, Jediah, the Most High made the Israelites. The white man made niggas. So which one are you? These women chose to be niggas. Goodbye. I don't want to be around you. Goodbye. I'm a man of the one true one. So you want to be a nigga? No, go ahead.
I consider myself a Garveyite for a long time, pretty much until recently, when I realized that we truly have no connection with the continent of so-called Africa whatsoever.
No,
and
not at all.
No one over there would receive us with open arms. So we have no ties. In fact, if we took our ass over there en masse, you better be sure they will look at us and treat us as an enemy. So the whole idea of African-centered consciousness based off the continent itself, in my mind, is a lost one, because they have no solidarity with us here or over there. We are people all out here on our own. All we got to call on is the Most High. That's it.
The Israelites.
I think Ghana is one of the African countries, or the only African country that I've ever heard of or known of, that has put out that they want our people here in America to repatriate there.
Oh, I didn't know
that. Okay. Yeah. No. But here's the thing: is that I've been seeing that, and you can do the research on YouTube for those who listening to this. A lot of the ones who have repatriated, so-called, to Ghana, because that's a big part of where I think the slave ports were. A lot of them who have repatriated there, they are now put down at the bottom of society, and they're ostracized. And they are denied, and some of them are now being murdered by the Ghanaians there.
Wow.
So this is the shortcoming of, or the fruit, I guess, of just claiming Africa without really having the true knowledge that we are the people of Israel. Israel is the only, that's right. Israel is the only African nation that is totally been removed by the quote-unquote Africans, or as black people. That's the only country in Africa that is taken over totally by white people. All the other African countries that I know of or that I can think of offhand, they still have the majority of a black population, even though white people may control it more or less. But Israel is pretty much totally white, and they've pretty much gotten rid of mostly all of our people there because, and that's why they're constantly fighting over that territory continually because that's the only.
Israel is being trodden down by the Gentiles. They say they're us, but they're the synagogue of Satan. We are the real Israelites. We're the only ones that fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28. We're the only ones.
Yeah. Only people that ever go into chattel slavery via slave ships from one end of the continent, one end from the earth to the other. Only reclaim your heritage because we're Israelites. We're not Africans. We're Israelites. We're Hebrews. So again, our people are looking toward Africa. The scriptures, the Most High told us not to look back toward Egypt. We shouldn't be looking back there because those people were our enemies. The Egyptians were our enemies. The people of Africa are the ones that sold us into slavery because they knew we were Israelites. Exactly. The Most High ordained it. So why would we call ourselves Africans and we're Ankhs and Egyptian foolishness when we are the Israelites? We're the Hebrews. So reclaim your name. Reclaim your heritage. Reclaim your name, but I believe in denouncing every semblance possible of white culture.
That's correct.
I absolutely hate and despise European culture. I think it is anti-humanity. I think it's insincere. And frankly, I think it's a disgusting culture. So I reject their holidays. I reject their cultural norms. Now, that's one of the reasons why I'm all for polygyny. I'm all for certain things. Everything that's anti-European social construct, I'm for that. Because I hate European culture.
Yes, hatred. Bless you. You're supposed to hate them because why? The Most High said they will be our enemies. They that hate us shall reign over us. He will put us in the land of our enemies.
Yeah.
And these niggas still can't figure it out.
And here's an important component when we're dealing with people. You can't separate people from culture. The Bible is written to a group of people called the Israelites, and the Most High gave them a culture. So if the Most High gave you a culture, that means your culture is superior. And anything contrary to that cannot be of the Most High, must be of the enemy, Satan himself. So anyone who has the Spirit of God must reject white culture at all times, must reject it.
And then, now you just made a point. Brother, you just made a point. Now, again, this black consciousness, reject it. We shouldn't even speak to people like that until you want to come to the Most High. Reject Farrakhan, which I do. Reject Christmas, Easter, and all this other foolishness. I don't even watch television. I don't give a damn about basketball. I don't care about any of that because they use sports in Greece to bring the Israelites away from the Most High. They brought you to a gymnasium. So they brought us away from that. Again, those that have an ear, let him hear. We are here to take over. We want our own land, we want our own nation, and we want the Most High to bless us. So we don't want anything to do with Afrocentrism because those are our enemies. Nothing to do with the black conscious movement, these dumb bitches running around talking about black power. We're not black. We're the Israelites.
And that's why you can't fuck with a black woman because her job is to enforce European cultural constructions and norms on the mind of the black man. And I'm sorry to say this, but the little nigga in the street with his pants down, although it's misdirected now, but the little nigga in his pants down in the street doing all type of foolishness, he in his heart, you know what he's really doing? He's rejecting white society and white culture. It's just misdirected and misguided, but he is really rejecting the white man.
And Jediah and I spoke a little while ago. Remember we said everybody has already heard of the Most High. They know. With all this knowledge out here, I don't want to hear it. You heard the word. You've heard. So there's no excuse for saying you black. With all this knowledge out here, everybody knows we're the real Israelites. I've even heard some white people talking about some black people are Jews. I've heard something about black people being Jews. Everybody, because of this knowledge that's out here, you know. And if you don't,
you got white people. You got white people that have made videos, several, as you can see on YouTube, where they flat out state and point to scriptures and whatnot that say that we are the Israelites. So you do have whites who will say it.
Yeah, well, that's a good slave for me. That's my slave. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because you don't belong. You're not going to be in the congregation worshiping with us, but thank you. You're very kind.
Right.
But you're not doing me no good because you're not trying to fight against your own race. So you can go to hell with all that. Thank you for the compliment, Whitey. But again, our people know what's going on. That's why only 1/3 of us will be saved, because the rest of us want to follow Esau. That black movement, that black consciousness, that is a construct of white people to keep you confused, just like the Masons, just like the police department, join the army. All that's some bullcrap construct of white America. Again, the Most High made.
You can tell the tree by the fruit it bears, right?
But see, again, we are the Israelites. The Most High made Hebrews and Israelites. The white man made niggas. So I don't want to follow behind a nigga. So as soon as you say Farrakhan again is a wordsmith just like the white man. He knows how to trip them words around, because I think Farrakhan's daddy's white.
Man,
I do believe his daddy's white.
If Farrakhan was really about it, he'd be dead or broke or both.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's the bottom line, man. You ain't about to be thriving. I mean, to me, it's no wonder that Khalid Muhammad, that Malcolm, Amos Wilson, that they died so young, but Farrakhan is still kicking.
Yeah, and think about this, gentlemen. One last thing I'll say, and I'll let you guys have the floor. Isn't it funny how Farrakhan wants 10,000 men to rise up? Well, nigga, why don't you do it? Since you're so bad, you got all of them brothers. You got the Nation of Islam. I grew up with them when I was a kid. You're supposed to be such bad butts. You got such badasses. Farrakhan, why don't y'all go out there and do your thing, brother? But you got to get on there with your bean pie selling ass and ask for some volunteers.
I used to hang out with the Nation when I was younger. I never confessed to that religion.
No, me either. But you're so cool, brother. I guess you sold enough bean pies. You guys should have enough guns to go fight Whitey, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't listen to Farrakhan. He's a mouth. He's a wordsmith and a liar. That's it. So we're the Israelites. It's time to stand up, proclaim our history, bring back our heritage, dump the blackness, dump the consciousness, leave these bitches alone, because you're devils working for the white man trying to bring me to hell with you. And I'm not going.
No, Brother Eliyahu, what you just mentioned is complete revolution.
Of course.
Outright rejection of this culture. That's real revolution right there.
It really is, because my son has nothing to do with it. My son Gabriel has nothing to do with white culture whatsoever. Mm-hmm. None. I didn't raise him on it. I kept him away from the TV. We don't watch it. We don't celebrate Christmas. We celebrate the holidays of the Most High, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of Trumpets. We do what we're supposed to do, because we're trying to come back to our culture.
Yep.
Later for Kwanzaa and the rest of that stuff. You niggas can have it. Again, white man made niggas.
Got a kente cloth and a kufi on, it makes you black. That's mad.
White people made niggas. White people made niggas. The Most High made the Israelites.
So, to wrap this up, what we need to do, what's our solution to dealing with this fake conscious black woman?
I think, as I've been doing, ignoring her and abandon her, and save for the very few, which almost is impossible to find, that may come to you on her knees with all subjection and all humility. Save for a woman like that who's coming in that spirit, I think we should utterly reject black women 100%. They don't even look at them. Don't even look at them.
Thank you.
If you see them, they speak to you first, speak to them. Me personally, I'm not intimidated, but I kind of drop my head a little bit when I see a black woman, because I don't have nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with her. You know how, I don't know if you guys experience, let me say this real quick. In Chicago, white people, they walk past you, they ignore you, they act like you're not there. There's a particular thing in Chicago, I don't know if they do it in other cities, but white people here, they almost bump into you because they're trying to ignore you. You're not fitting into their mental space. This is what they do here. And we've known this for some years. It's not only my observation. Many people have the same observation. I think we should treat white folks and black women the same way, that we just absolutely ignore them.
I do.
I agree 100%. In fact, my girl, she's not black, but she did remark one time when we were actually on a lunch break one time. We went in downtown in a white area, and she said, have you noticed that it's like we're not even walking down the sidewalk? It's like when you walk by these white people, it's like you don't even exist. So that's definitely what the case is. And I agree with you 100%, Black Ram, as far as ignoring black women.
Well, I'll put it to you. Let's get this. Please,
I agree with that. I agree with that as well. I've been doing that actually for years. It's the same way that Black Ram had mentioned earlier during the talk, is that I only acknowledge a black woman if she acknowledged me first. That shows submission. If she doesn't care how appealing or attractive she is, or she may think she is, if she doesn't acknowledge me first as a black man, then I don't acknowledge her. And over half the times, I wear shades so that when I'm out, I don't have to make unnecessary eye contact with anyone. The only ones that I will usually try to make eye contact with and initiate is with other brothers, and I'll acknowledge them and nod my head, when I see them when I'm in the street. But when it comes to a black woman, if she doesn't acknowledge me first, then that shows that she doesn't have submission, and that's a woman to be avoided.
Exactly, because Proverbs 31:3. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's key, because if somebody was after her ass, she acknowledged you then. If she needed something, if she was desperate, she acknowledged you then.
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledge me from the beginning.
Yep,
hey,
that's right.
Here's the thing. Here's what's scary. And I don't know if y'all reached this point yet. Maybe Eliyahu has, but have you? I don't have to try to ignore black women. I almost, this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I almost feel about black women the way white people feel about non-whites in terms of ignoring them. And it's fucked up, but it's kind of just happened in a very organic way. It hasn't been something I've had to force. I don't have mantras and shit and affirmations and shit. It just to the point now where I see them, and it's like seeing a stray dog or just a strange person walking down the street. You just kind of keep going, and it's nothing. And I'm dead ass. I'm not trying to be funny at all. I'm being dead ass serious about where my mind is. They're not appealing to me anymore, man.
Well, because you're being shown the truth, and I've been that way for a long time, quite a while. But again, I don't look at black women, period. I don't look at white women. The scripture says I shall put no wicked thing before mine eyes. I don't look at none of them. I don't really give a damn about them. I'm not trying to be rude. I look at myself as a God among men. And I can tell you what, gentlemen, a lot of people fear me. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. People have even asked me, why are you so quiet? You're scaring people.
Hey,
because
Eliyahu, I can relate with that personally. Go ahead, teach me.
Yes.
Preach.
Well, the scriptures tell you in Proverbs 31:3, don't waste your life on women, nor the way which destroys kings. Women have destroyed kingdoms with their nasty vaginas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You do not give your strength to a whore. People, I frighten them because I don't talk.
And
I don't want to be bothered.
And not just that vagina, her mind too. Let me ask you all a question. What's a black woman's favorite food? Anybody know?
Stupidity.
Her favorite food? A black woman's favorite food?
Yeah, black woman's favorite food. If you ask any black woman what her favorite food is, she'll always tell you this. Guaranteed.
Crab.
Her favorite food?
Shrimp.
Shrimp, yeah. Forbidden food. Shrimp and crabs.
Shrimp.
The cockroach of the sea.
The cockroach of the sea, right? What's her favorite day of the week? Sunday. Yeah,
everything that the Most High says not do, Esau does. You ride by Red Lobster. He has Red Lobster on the building. He got
I'm guilty. I'm guilty too, though. Goddamn, I like shrimp. Go ahead.
No, I haven't eaten that.
Hey, have you noticed they'll never come out on TV with a chicken fest or a beef fest? It's always lobster fest and shrimp. All the shrimp you can eat and all the crab you can eat.
Well, because you live in a society, the Bible says that we would eat defiled food in the land. We would eat the king's meat. We're eating the king's meat. It's filth.
Yeah.
Hey,
everything
let me just say this to y'all, because y'all, all three of you guys are on the same page, and I'm very I'm very much sort of new. Me and Jediah have been talking for a long time, several years now. But I must say, man, that the scriptures are so compelling in terms of who we are. I know a few minutes ago we were talking about abandoning the notion of being black as far as referencing our identity. And more lately I'm becoming more sensitive to the fact that the black-white thing is a construct created by and for white supremacy. And I'm also beginning to question the truthfulness or lack thereof of the African identity. And lately I've been considering more the possibility of us actually being Native Americans, and then, of course, this here, what we're discussing. And so I just wanted to share that because I think maybe at some point in the future we can discuss this more, because it's something I'm wrestling with. And like I said, I know you guys are far more established in terms of the Hebrew Israelite creed and you know, that perspective. But it's certainly compelling, man. It's very, very hard to read the scriptures, and I've told Jediah several times, man, even as I sit on the fence and I read the scriptures, one thing I cannot deny is how they resonate with me. Even with all the questions I have, I tell him spiritually it resonates with me, but intellectually I haven't got over the various mental blocks from all the information I've consumed over the years. And some things that still resonate with me that are not necessarily in the scriptures. But like I say, when I read the book, when I actually read the book, you know, my mother used to always tell me growing up, the word is alive. You know, that didn't mean anything to me until the last few years when I read the book. And I feel like, you know, you talk about people being dull of hearing versus those who are really receptive. I don't know that everybody's going to get that experience when they read the book. But I know what I feel when I read that book, and I feel like it's a real connection. It's like electric, and it resonates with me, man.
Right.
And I'll just say this. If I had to be left with one book, it would be the scriptures. And that's still, even sitting on the fence with all the questions I still have in my mind, that book is the one that I would have to be left with. But go ahead.
You realize that book is against white supremacy? For instance, we've always been told when we were younger, at least most of us, at least I have, that it was a white man's book. When we look at the book, everything in there is contrary to the white man's way of life. Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Exactly.
And we know that the white man doesn't originate anything. He steals everything. He seeks to kill, steal, and destroy. Nothing about him is original. Nothing. So anything that has any value, anything that has any virtue, you better believe he didn't come up with it.
I'll tell you what, I got to run. I love y'all, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Shalom.
Man, for real. So we have to get back up.
All right, brother. So, this was good. And, you know, maybe next time we'll talk about that topic you mentioned. And we just want to reemphasize to brothers before we get out of here that it's time to avoid giving black women our energy unless they submit to us. Then we have to deprogram ourselves from the three constructs that they have created for us, which was the buck, the coon, and the simp. And if a woman is not willing to get rid of the social construct for black females, which is, what was it again, the three?
The sapphire.
The Jezebel, and the mammy.
And the mammy is the base. Just like with the man, the coward, the coon, and what do we say?
I think the coon and the coward can go hand in hand, right? Coon and coward can kind of go. The coon and the coward can kind of go hand in hand, right? They're kind of synonymous, right? The coward is the base, because the coon is a coward, the simp is a coward. They all cowards. And just like with the black woman, though, whether it be a Jezebel, whether it be a sapphire, they all mammies because they all serve white supremacy. So,
that's right.
There it
well,
is.
all I'll say is this. Brothers, get your stones back. Strap it on. Strap them, put them back in the scrotum sack. Get your rifle. Get that Bible. The Bible is your rifle. Lock and load. Because like I told the guy before, man, we're going in. It's time to quit playing games. Get your balls ready. It's time to get it on. So like I said, it's over. I'm over. I'm that kind of guy. I've been that way all my life. I'm from the hood, but I got the scripture with me now. And I'm hard as nails. I'm not going to turn it back. And my father said one thing. There's two kind of men, gentlemen. There's hammers, and then there's nails. Which one are you?
I like that.
You're right.
No doubt. All right, brother.
All right, bro.
I am out. All right, brother. Shalom.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.